have a dream that David Bowie taught us skateboarding.
David Bowie taught us how to skateboard.
This album is
It's
really
good. It's good.
It's, oh my god.
I've had 3.
It's not because we're intoxicated.
I've had 3/4 of that big ass wine
wait a
bottle.
minute. Put your hair down a little bit. You were looking all Doc Brown like and shit.
I had 3/4 of that big old yellow kangaroo wine.
You have to be in a certain mind state to listen to the
You're a
Flaming
cigarette,
Lips.
man.
But this is not the Flaming Lips. If you can't tell by the big banner on the YouTube bar you're watching right now, up here above our heads and shit.
You just clicked on a Miley Cyrus review.
Clickbait.
Oh my god.
No.
Alright, let me just say something really quick. You're all expecting us to shit on this album and shit on Miley Cyrus.
I wish I wanted to.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to shit on Miley Cyrus.
Hannah Montana.
I'm not going to shit on this album. I'm not going to shit on this album. This album, fucking, I've never listened to it. I mean, if there's something I don't like,
I'm not gonna give a fuck.
I'm not gonna check it out. I don't even give it the time of day. I don't even talk shit about it that much. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sitting around.
See, the thing is, it's almost like air. You don't talk about it because you know it exists. It's there.
I mean,
you know how air does.
For thousands and hundreds and millions of years, air has been good to us. Air is good for us. But
I'm just saying,
but
you know
for the past, what? 10 years, 15 years, however long Miley Cyrus has been doing her fucking thing, she hasn't been good to us. She, until now.
Didn't have...
Until now. Well,
she didn't have control of that. But
until she started hanging out with the Flaming Lips.
Yes. But what I want to say is, like, Air was probably a bad example. Because Air has kind of always been good to us until man started putting chemicals in it and fucking it up. So anyway,
I have a lot to say.
This fucking album,
I'm fucking pissed drunk.
Pablo
the Blowfish.
the Blowfish.
This album.
Pablo the motherfucking Blowfish.
Like, alright.
That is one of my favorite songs off this album.
We should just, alright, it's been, what, 100 minutes since we just turned off the Ghost review because Zach wanted to hear this Miley Cyrus album. Because right before we went to fucking review any
I
albums
just wanted
tonight,
to hear it because, like,
we fucking found out about it. The Flaming Lips did the music for it, and
no, I kind of been following it because I follow
I
Flaming
didn't know
Lips.
anything about it.
I follow the Flaming Lips. I'm not trying to say I follow this bitch, but I follow Flaming Lips, and I love the Flaming Lips.
This motherfucker
and on this
motherfucker's
motherfucker's fame, or not fame, Facebook or whatever, his Instagram.
He hit me up about a week or two ago saying, dude,
There's a fucking
go on
hashtag.
Instagram and look at the hashtag Smiley's Hate Wayne. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
It's hilarious because someone had enough hatred and time to draw.
I guess Miley Cyrus
They had
fans hate
enough
the fact that she's
hatred
hanging
in
out with
their
some cool fucking
soul.
people.
They had enough hatred and passion about hating, or they had enough passion to hate Wayne doing this to Miley, that they had to draw this thing and make it a meme and then hashtag this shit. And it's everywhere. It's a big thing on. Everyone fucking hates this collaboration. It's like
it's getting really shitty reviews.
It's like Metallica and Lou Reed.
That's really what this is. It's like Metallica and Lou Reed all over again.
No one wants this to happen.
But, like the Metallica and Lou Reed, fucking fantastic. But
If you listen to it and don't fucking judge it because you know the bands and what they do.
First off, listen to it because you like the Flaming Lips.
Yes.
Don't be clouded by.
It's a Miley Cyrus album. No. I will not hear it.
Don't be clouded by the fact that it's Miley Cyrus, especially if you hate Miley Cyrus.
So there's not a Miley Cyrus album.
I've never given a shit about her. I was too old, you know?
See, the only Miley Cyrus I know is It's a Party in the USA.
Wrecking Ball.
That was
it's
written.
the only shit from her I've ever heard.
I don't even know if Wrecking Ball was probably not even written by her.
I don't even like that.
No one likes that
I don't
song.
I've never
It just
given
became
a fuck.
famous because it was shocking that she was naked in the music video.
But a couple years ago, we did a first listen for the Flaming Lips album, The Terror, and we were talking about how Kesha was on there, and we were like, we don't fucking.
No,
that Hetty Fwins.
It was Hetty Fwins.
Hetty Fwins, man, my bad. So we're talking about Hetty Fwins, and we're talking about the fact that Kesha's on there, and we're like, we don't like Kesha, but it's cool that she's hanging out with these fucking guys, these fucking
I want to see what happens
fucking guys.
I want to see what happens.
Fucking
$10.
Flaming Lips is something you would never expect somebody like Kesha to be hanging with. And then we mentioned that maybe her hanging out with Flaming Lips will make her be better. Well, we haven't heard shit from Kesha. And well, all of a sudden, about what, a year or two ago maybe, all of a sudden we're hearing about Flaming Lips and Miley Cyrus hanging out, and I'm like, that's weird, but okay, that's cool. Don't like Miley Cyrus, love the lips.
I love the lips.
But what will come out of this? And then we get that Beatles cover album.
Yes.
And she's on there.
And I'm not gonna say that it's not a little weird, because in some sense it does seem like she might be fucking the dude.
Bloop bloop. She wants him to fuck her till she stops.
I think
talking.
it was on David Letterman. I was watching. It was on one of those like late night shows, but I want to say it was David Letterman, maybe Conan. But
in the year 2000.
they still do that, and they still say the year 2000.
Wow.
They don't come up with a new fucking year. It's still the year 2000.
I think that's the joke now.
Yeah, it's just a joke.
Spice World will still be the #1 movie at the box office on the planet Sucko.
Yep.
I'll never forget that one.
Okay. So, what was I saying?
How something about you were watching Conan.
Conan. All right, I was watching Conan or one of those late night shows, and the Flaming Lips. It had to be Conan because David Letterman wouldn't be doing it. Anyway,
Butterfuco.
They still do it when the TV goes down and that dude talks.
Man, the lips is like
I love that shit.
It's me, Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton, they never do that anymore. That was hilarious.
In Mexico, they pronounce all the X's with an H sound, like Mexico. I looked at a woman, you want to have Sahi with me? Oh, yeah. Oh my God. An 11-year-old me loved the fuck out of that.
Yeah, anyway.
We're pretty fucking intoxicated.
No, we're not. We're into what we're fucking. You or we are, but I am focused. I can do it. I feel I can talk about this album right now. So, Conan. Conan. See, you're doing your little spin thing, and that's kind of funny. So I'm just kind of sitting here laughing, focusing on what I'm supposed to say about Conan. And Flaming Lips being on Conan.
Alright,
And the people watching us want to know.
Alright, let's say it. We gotta do it. You gotta be fucking. I am 29 years old, drunk as fuck, listening to goddamn Miley Cyrus.
Pablo and the Blowfish.
What in my life has led me to this moment?
Last year when the Flaming Lips were putting out the Sgt. Pepper cover album, I heard that Miley Cyrus was doing a Beatles album with the Flaming Lips. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening?
And we had a friend on Instagram, a kid on Instagram who watches us, and he said that he'd never listened to Flaming Lips, and he's like, fuck Flaming Lips now that they're working with her. And this is a thing that we'll get into.
Let me finish. Because I'm a fan. I'm a deep fan. Like, I fucking love the Flaming Lips. So, when I read about this and I found out, I was like, okay, maybe I'm just gonna step back, because I know Flaming Lips have dabbled in every genre, every album they release. I don't know what to expect from either one of them.
You can't even like.
They never.
Flaming Lips.
You
is the
can't,
genre
because
itself.
they never fucking do the same thing, and they don't take a left turn or a right turn. They take a winding road every time, and then they go down a hill and up and down.
They just traverse
they
the
travel
universe.
the fucking shit. They're flying. They do what they do. It's the Flaming Lips. You don't know what to expect. You put it on like it's a brand new band.
Pretty much.
Every time. The same, not necessarily the same group, but the same mindset and the same ideas, with at least 20 or 30% of the original members. But still.
Wayne coined is the brains behind it, apparently.
No, the two. There's two.
Well, if it's
The other guy's just kind of there. No, the other guy's been there since the beginning, but the guy that's always on heroin.
Was it Spider Bites?
This is a Spider Bite song, yes. You got that spider bite on your hand. I thought we the Heartbreakers band. Like, none of this Miley Cyrus shit with the Flaming Lips. Alright, I'm not even getting to that yet. Because I'm talking about Conan.
40 hours later.
The Conan thing, when I already had the album, and I knew fucking Miley Cyrus was on like 2 songs, and they weren't bad. Honestly, they weren't bad. I heard the Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds on YouTube, and
If
I
you
was
like
not that
the
impressed.
Lips cover of Dark Side of the Moon, their cover of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club, and the full album now
Yeah, it's great, but
is fucking masterpiece.
that album
of
is more like a compilation of bands doing the album versus it being a Flaming Lips, though. Because there's some songs that are done by completely different people. It's not just Flaming Lips. Where Flaming Lips and like 2 or 3 other people did songs on Dark Side. That one does feel like a compilation, but not so much. It feels more like a collaboration. So,
I agree.
Conan. I'm gonna finish this. Before this video is over, they were singing, let me see what this song is called, I've got it right here. Stop. Fuck off. A Day in the Life, or Good Morning, Good Morning, yes. It was one of those songs.
Good morning, good morning.
It was one of those songs, either. But I remember it starting with Wayne sitting there on a big ass thing with this big fucking cloak, alien silver shiny sparkly cloak, going down at least 11 to 12, maybe 13 feet, whatever. And all you see is his head, and he's holding a microphone or whatever, and singing and shit. And you see this head or something moving around under the sheets or under his robe. And then when the second vocals...
It was Miley Cyrus going, wow.
The second vocals come out, you see Miley Cyrus come out there like Britney Spears with the snake. You remember Britney Spears with the fucking snake and shit? She's coming out there with a suit like that. And then she's just sitting there kind of...
Poor snake.
Doing like... rubbing fucking Wayne and shit. Just... singing the Beatles song and you're like... This is the Beatles. What are you doing?
Oh my god.
It's not a bad album, but don't perform like that. And then listening to this though, it's like, if you don't touch classic stuff, I can get into it. You know what I mean? Like, don't. You're singing Good Morning, Good Morning. You're not sucking an old man's dick. No. That's not what I want to see or picture when I'm listening to the Beatles. Not Miley Cyrus sucking an old man's dick. I love the Flaming Lips, and I'm not taking anything away from them. Just saying, that image I saw on Conan was a little... That sound. Because that's how he makes a sound when he sucks a dick. Mm-hmm. And that. Do it again. That. Yep. That's him swallowing it.
Okay, so, alright. Earlier tonight, I find out about Miley Cyrus and her dead pets. And...
Oh, you didn't even know about it?
I knew nothing. I don't fucking follow her.
I didn't... Well, see, the only reason I knew about it is because I have fucking flaming lips on my head.
I just figured...
And I'm on his Instagram.
She fucking gets on his stuff. I mean...
No, dude. This is a Flaming Lips album with her singing on it.
There's two ways to look at it. There's two ways to look at it. It's either a Flaming Lips album with Miley Cyrus singing, or it is a Miley Cyrus album with Flaming Lips as her backing band.
Well, yeah.
And so either
way, it's Flaming Lips.
She says that when she started hanging out with the Flaming Lips, it kind of blew her away because everything she's ever done has been on computers. And she's blown away by the fact that these guys make organic music and they can change keys and on a whim. And, well, it's like, Cyrus, you're only 22 years old. And
she really 22?
Something like that.
Jeez.
You have...
Christ, you're young. Can I just
young ass kid.
Can we get in the studio with you guys, Flaming Lips, man? We wrote a song we wrote a whole album about crabs.
You are a fucking kid.
Come on, man. No, we're asking a thing here. We're on the internet. The Flaming Lips are listening to us because we're a part of this. And it's gonna be famous.
Hit us up, dude.
Yeah, come on, Wayne. I love you.
I don't do heroin. I mean,
don't.
I don't have any spider bites. Not on either arm, dude. I'm scared of spiders, man. They
This
fucking freak me
motherfucker and
out.
spiders. You have to kill him for him because he will fucking break shit.
Oh, freak the
Trying
fuck
to get
out.
away from it.
So, I mean, Miley Cyrus says this, and it's like, okay, well, I mean, you do know that In the long, long ago, there was a thing called guitars and drums and basses and clarinets and violins and cellos. In the long, long ago.
Who's saying this to who?
I'm saying this to Miley Cyrus.
You! Like, you need to stand up and point at the camera and say, you need to address. You need to be like, yo. Like, alright. She doesn't like...
I can't hardly get out, dude.
Grab your camera. This is real talk.
This is real talk with Miley Cyrus. Alright, Miley Cyrus. In the long, long ago, there were guitars and basses and drums, clarinets, violins, cellos, pianos, and it was all organic.
No computers!
No computers existed in the long, long ago, and people could change keys on a whim. Oh my, I can change keys on a whim. Zach and I are telepathic with our musical minds together. It's almost like we've practiced. But somewhere...
That's a running thing now, dude.
Somewhere along the fucking timeline of the world, we have...
started going...
We have moved toward computers. Now computers are great. I mean, you get a lot of cool shit out of there. But then sometimes a lot of today's music, and maybe the music of the last 15 years, has sounded like you're just using the presets from your GarageBand program on your fucking Apple computer. And it's not just Miley Cyrus, it's 99% everybody out there right now. And Miley Cyrus is tripping out. Her mind is blown by the fact that these people can play instruments. It's almost like it's almost like meeting somebody who can speak an old language that has
I can speak
gone
Mandarin.
away. Well, I need to sit the fuck back down before I fall. I don't know what I'm doing.
Are we still talking about Miley
We are
Cyrus?
still talking about Miley suck ass. Alright.
You in the frame.
I hope so. Alright. I've never watched Hannah Montana. I didn't even know what Hannah Montana was until when you told Roxanne she looked like Hannah Montana.
She did.
I was like, what the she got mad, and I'm like, who the fuck is Hannah Montana? Then Miley Cyrus does her solo thing. I hear the USA Party song, and I'm like, bitch, how old were you? What Jay-Z fucking song were you listening to?
And a Jay-Z song was out.
I mean, I can believe the
Got
Britney.
another weapon drawn.
I can believe the Britney, but not the Jay-Z. And then I just don't give a fuck. If there's something
But then
in the mainstream,
again,
I pay no
honestly-
attention to the mainstream.
honestly,
I don't listen to
Travis-
those guys. I don't even bitch about Justin Bieber like everybody else did. I don't give a fuck.
Let me catch
I have
you off
better-
though.
I would
To-
rather bitch about bands that I like who do something I don't like.
To benefit her and
Bitch
her
about
age.
somebody I'm not gonna pay attention to.
Benefit her and her age. Wait a second. To listen to what I'm saying. Benefit her and
I'll
her
listen
age.
when I roll, son.
For her to be listening to a Britney song and then a Jay-Z song,
When did she just now start listening to the Flaming Lips?
just listen. If she's listening to radio, what radio would you be hearing if a Jay-Z followed a Britney song?
107Q over here.
Over here, it's a pop station. It's a pop station, exactly.
For us.
They do not play that. They don't even play
They
Jay-Z
did
now.
back in
They don't play
99.
Jay-Z now.
They don't.
No.
But they did back in 99, son. They did
That
back
was
in
like
99.
fucking 15, 16 years ago,
They
dude.
did, though. They did.
And that's about when she was growing up, when Britney was on the
She'd be
radio.
like 5 fucking years ago. I mean, 5 years old.
Exactly. What was on the radio when we were growing up?
I was listening to Bad to the Bone
When we
at 5
were-
years old and thinking that was the coolest shit in the world. Bad to the Bone. Dude, he's saying bone, man. That's fucking cool to my 5-year-old mind. At
She's 22 right now.
But we need to eventually get to talking about this album.
We have been. We're talking about
Let's
how
see the cigarette bowl.
for $1.
I owe you $1 million in dollars.
For $1.
That's $1,001,001 in dollars. I need the cigarette bowl. This album, alright, I didn't know nothing about it or when it was coming out then until just a couple hours ago. We were talking and something about Miley Cyrus.
We're gonna get a little closer now.
And Flaming Lips. Yeah, just adjust the camera there. Well, I looked it up and I find out, oh, it's online for free streaming, doobity-doobity-doo. And was just like, whatever, we'll eventually get to it, but then we said, fuck it, we need to listen to it. And we did. And as soon as it comes on, she's talking about how she likes weed. I mean, are you trying to be shocking by the fact that you mentioned you like weed? I mean, I like weed too. A lot of people like weed, but it's not a shocking thing. Maybe she's being honest that, oh, I like weed and I like beats. But I like beats too. I mean, really, I never thought there'd be a day in my life when I would say I actually dig a Miley Cyrus album, much less recommend it to people who don't like Miley Cyrus.
If you like the Flaming Lips and you like hearing them collaborate with other people, this is a great album for you.
The music
I love
is hypnotizing.
It's not it.
Especially
All right.
music.
I will say, for a 20, how many? 23.
22, 23.
23 track album, some things get a little boring.
Now, yeah, I will
say, because the tempo never picks up past the slower Flaming Lips songs.
But the thing is,
Sometimes you do hear some good. Let me speak on a Flaming Lips fan base, because some of these people might understand.
real talk to the fans,
Yes.
son.
They understand how fast some Flaming Lips albums are. So this album feels like your slower songs on Yoshimi and At War with the Mystics.
And then there was a song
If it's
that reminds
Flaming
us
Lips,
of
it
Embryonic.
really sounds like that.
The
But
Terror.
there's like one song that sounds like Embryonic with a little guitar riff. There's a lot of the Terror in it. And then there's a lot of new hope for what the Flaming Lips could be now. I can't wait to hear what the new album sounds like.
I wouldn't even say New Hope for Flaming Lips, because the Flaming Lips will always be what they are.
They are.
I will say
New
New
I know
Hope
that.
for Miley Cyrus.
New, very, very much that. Very much that. So
Now, this
I will
album-
say that because, like, wow.
This album, okay, we were talking about this while the album was playing, alright? When she first came out, she was fairly clean. Then she comes with her bangers shit, and everybody's talking about her VMA thing. I haven't watched the VMA since Britney and Madonna made out with fucking Christina.
Yeah, no one
And
remembers Christina.
I don't give a fuck about that. I didn't give a fuck about it then.
Yeah, because
And-
that same time, fucking, you saw Buckethead playing with
Yeah,
Guns N' Roses.
that was the highlight of my life.
That's what everyone else was sitting there talking about. Goddamn Britney and Madonna.
I'm
and
like-
we're sitting there waiting like, yo,
I'm like, you have a
Buckethead.
fat ass old Axl Rose who can't barely hold a note. up
Yeah,
there with
but
fucking
Buckethead just played a
Buckethead.
song with them. Like, that's kind of cool. You actually got to see Buckethead on MTV, and we're like, what?
I guarantee you, 99% of people.
No one.
Were like, who
Everyone
the fuck
else
is
was
this
excited
man
about,
with a
oh,
bucket on his head?
fucking Justin Timberlake won over Johnny Cash, and fucking
Cash should have won.
Britney Spears made out with so and so, and we're sitting here like, Buckethead was there, and Johnny Cash should have won.
I think the Buckethead and Guns N' Roses might have been the year before.
Either way, the MTV Music Awards is fucking bullshit.
It hasn't been,
It hasn't been good ever. But I do remember when I was a kid, it made sense.
I loved 96.
96 was good.
I remember
that being
Tonight
cool.
Tonight won everything.
Tonight won everything, and then
you had the Kiss reunion.
The Kiss reunion, and then it wasn't really a reunion because, like, in the 90s they did the acoustic tour, and I mean
the final session.
They might have took a year off.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, they might have took a year off, but didn't put on the paint since the 80s. And then when they finally got back with Ace Frehley and Peter Criss, they finally put on the paint again and did Psycho Circus and Peter Criss.
Psycho Circus kicks ass. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I thought Psycho Circus was pretty.
It actually kind of did sound like
it was just
a Hollywood.
It
was like a Hollywood reboot
yeah,
or a remake of Kiss.
Yeah, it was a fucking remake of Kiss, definitely, but a one that worked. One
was
that
like
fucking rocked.
Detroit Rock City remake.
You're in the Psycho Circus. And I say, welcome to the show. That album rocked, man. It fucking rocked.
I'm just a boy.
I'm just a boy. Oh my god. So this album, alright. It's like I said, when she started out, she was kind of clean. Then she does her banger shit, and everyone's freaking out. Oh my god, what is this? And I'm like, bitches, if you haven't paid attention,
Spears.
if you haven't paid attention to the music awards, the VMAs, motherfuckers have been doing this since the fucking beginning.
Yeah, like
the very first
Madonna
VMA
was sitting there humping this stage, singing like a virgin.
That was the very
she
first
had an orgasm.
VMA performance that was like shocking that everybody was talking about, and then every year somebody had to top it, somebody had to top it, somebody had to top it. Even Madonna had to top herself many fucking times. And when people were talking about this, oh my god, she comes out here and it's so fucking nasty, it's so disgusting, and she's twerking and she's sticking her tongue out, and I'm like, really? Well, how about just what 15 years ago? People were saying the exact same thing when Britney Spears came out and she ripped off her fucking clothes and she's dancing around in some bra and fucking panties.
Yep.
Alright, I didn't give a fuck about that. I was like, whatever, this is what the fuck they do. This happens. The VMAs is a big time when clean artists will change their look because they know everybody's going to be watching and they know it's going to get a lot of fucking buzz. That's what Miley Cyrus did, and it felt like Miley Cyrus was being told to act this way. It didn't feel like it was possibly her actual personality. Maybe bits of it were in there, but it felt forced. It felt very manufactured. Like the studio said, you have to be shocking and you have to look like this and do this stuff because that's what gets people talking, and there you go. So I didn't give a fuck about it then. I heard about it, I saw the fucking performance. Whatever. Never thought about it again. And then all of a sudden I'm hearing about Miley Cyrus working Flaming Lips, and I'm like, okay, just like we said with the Kesha deal, maybe, and hopefully it'll make Miley Cyrus be more artistic and less let me just listen to what my advisors tell me to do. And that is definitely what this album is. If the whole bangers thing was her switch to, let me just be nasty. Remember when Christina did the whole, let me get a little bit rowdy, and she just looked like a complete slut?
What the fuck was that song called?
I don't even know.
Trying
to get a little bit rowdy. Yeah, I mean, the bangers was basically that again, So
it's about time for my rally.
Yeah.
Why do I know that? God.
Because it was everywhere.
It doesn't matter that it's everywhere, it's that I know the words. And I haven't heard it in like probably 20 years.
Yeah, and so that's basically what bangers was. It was just that again.
Good lord.
And, well, I didn't give a shit. Let me see, where's your ash can at?
They're like a million over here now.
Well, we said hopefully it makes her, kind of just come out of that shell a little bit by hanging out with Flaming Lips.
And
Flaming Lips is the kind
Christ,
of
did
band.
she not do that?
Flaming Lips is the kind of band that, you know, they do what they do. They don't give a shit.
No, they don't. They don't give a fuck.
What they give a fuck about
It's just
art.
releasing stuff and making art.
Art.
Like
just
they
in
have the
full
ability
sense.
to do what they do and make money, and it
Flaming
makes
Lips
them
is
happy.
one of those examples of musical art
Yes.
to the highest degree. There's a million bands that are like that, but Flaming Lips is a fantastic example. Like you said earlier, every album, you don't know what you're gonna get.
No.
It's like take for Beck for instance. You don't know if you're gonna get
No,
crazy
you don't
weird
know
Beck.
what kind of Beck you're gonna get.
You don't
That's
know if you're gonna
a great
get folky
example.
Beck.
They have collaborated before.
You don't know if you're gonna get sensual real Beck. You don't know which Beck you're going to get with each album. And even if he explains what the album is like before it's coming out,
It
you still
doesn't
don't
sound
know.
like what he says.
Yeah, you still don't know. Whereas other bands like let's say for instance, Marilyn Manson before his slight sudden change, you knew what it was gonna sound like. The fucking Green Day, you knew what it was gonna sound like.
Yeah.
Fucking The Sword until here recently, you knew what it was gonna sound like. And so this album right here, the Miley Cyrus and Her Dead Pets, this is the one that when we were listening to it,
Pablo.
there's a lot of fucking,
The Blowfish.
you feel her, she's putting her heart and soul in this, and she's
There's
not
a lot of
trying-
heart in it. And
She's not trying to be weird, she's
Yeah.
not trying to be shocking, she's just being herself. And you
It's
feel
just
that
her.
more on this album than all that banger shit. The whole I'm naked on a wrecking ball thing, that felt like studio shit.
Came in like a ray.
That felt like we need to be shocking, we need to get people
Like-
talking.
See, here's the thing. None of this had a hook. None of it was a chorus.
Yeah, none of this album sounds like it can be mainstream material.
No, it's not. And
If
that's-
anything, if this album were released on a normal CD, because it's only live streaming right now, it would have a parental advisory all over it. Because of the language and the content, the lyrical content.
I mean, the fucking album cover.
The album cover looks like she got jizzed on by crayons.
It looks like a Smurf fucking came confetti in her
It looked like she fucking gave a blowjob to a rainbow. A fucking rainbow just fucking Spider-Man her
Or a
face.
confetti clown.
Yeah, fuck yeah, she gave a blowjob to a clown, man.
And he comes confetti.
She just got a fucking facial.
Glitter confetti.
She got that Pearl Jam all over her face.
Pearl Jam.
But, I mean, well, I guess it's Rainbow Jam in this instance.
Confetti Jam.
But, I mean,
Feta Jam.
this album,
Kiffa Jam.
I expected it to be decent enough because of the Flaming Lips. But once we turned it on and we got a couple songs into it, I was like, you know what? I never thought in my life that I would be saying that, damn, a Miley Cyrus album is actually pretty fucking good. And now the reviews are a lot of people are saying it's self-indulgent. Yes, it is. But, you know what? Here's the thing. You get Quentin Tarantino and he makes his movies are very self-indulgent. But that's what you'd expect from somebody like Quentin Tarantino.
He
Flaming Lips,
knows what he's doing.
yeah, Flaming
He's
Lips
doing that
is
for himself.
is in a way Flaming Lips is a band equivalent of somebody like Quentin Tarantino. So
Yeah.
they do their thing. They do it their way.
It's-
With Miley Cyrus hanging out with them a lot of that influence has gotten.
It's
a hold
almost
of her.
like the Flaming Lips hiring Chris. Not saying that their careers or their abilities are on par with each other. I'm just giving an example of saying Quentin Tarantino hiring a newbie. for one of his films.
It's like
It's like Flaming Lips hiring a newbie,
in a way, yeah, it's like
and they're just giving them direction.
yeah. It's kind of like when Scorsese picked up Leonardo DiCaprio.
Boom!
All the cool people hated DiCaprio
Yup.
until Scorsese got a hold of him.
And
fucking
now
love some
everyone
DiCaprio.
fucking loves DiCaprio.
DiCaprio's cool as
He's
shit.
a damn
But
good actor.
Titanic era DiCaprio when we were kids, man.
Well,
fuck
okay,
him, fuck
that
him.
one movie though.
But same thing with Romeo and Juliet. Until I watched it when I was an adult and was like, damn, this movie's pretty
Back
cool.
in the day, though, he was still a great actor.
Yeah,
he was always
Gilbert
good. at what
Grape?
he
I mean,
was
come
in.
on, man.
He was always. See, the thing is, he didn't go full retard.
Yeah.
No
Legend,
doubt,
the
mama.
gas tank, boom, boom. But yeah, like, so her hanging out with Wayne Coyne and crew, a lot of their influence, and the thing is too, check this out, she's 22 years old. Wayne and all of them are gotta be in their 40s, right? Close to it. if
They're
not.
probably in their 50s.
Really? Even better. They are
Like
wise.
Green Day are in their 40s.
They are wise to the music industry. They are wise with their instruments. They are wise with their lyrics.
But they didn't make this a pop album.
That's another
That's
thing about
what
the
I
touch.
fucking got
That's
a
another thing
fucking
about
praise
the touch.
about it.
The Flaming Lips are wise, and they it's almost like they're her mentors in a way, and really, really fucking good mentors.
Okay.
It's like if, let's say, it's just like when DiCaprio started hanging out with Scorsese. I
That's
mean,
what
it's
we're
exactly like that. I mean, because the album, it is a bit self-indulgent, but I do like pretentiousness and I do like self-indulgence, but to me the only time that it's bad, and I've said this before, is if you have an attitude that this is the greatest thing in the world and everything else other than this is below it. It is beneath it. If Cyrus was coming out with this album and saying this album is better than anything that's ever came out in the world,
Yeah,
it's
I would
gonna
have
be
been really pissed
it's
off.
gonna be amazing. This album is the most amazing.
This is better than The Wall and the White Album.
You have
combined.
For instance, you have Tarantino self-indulgence and pretentiousness, which is good.
Well, Tarantino
then-
just like, I'm making a movie.
Yeah,
Man.
and he'll say some dumbass shit too, but everybody says dumbass shit. But then, for a bad example of self-indulgence and pretentiousness, Kanye West. Best examples right there.
That motherfucker.
Kanye West is, to me, the ultimate example of how pretentiousness and self-indulgence is completely awful. I hate being around people with that mindset of everything I do is amazing. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, you're gonna think everything you do is amazing. I mean, I like to think that my stuff is amazing, but I know where it's not. And once you realize that, once you realize you're never the smartest person in the room, you are enlightened and you understand that you know how to speak and talk about things and talk to other people. And in a way, that's kind of like what's happening with Miley Cyrus, and that's because of the Flaming Lips, and they're so old.
Yeah, see, she's about the same age as that Taylor Swift chick, and Taylor Swift is blatantly saying in her songs,
I'm the shit.
No, I'm not the shit.
So I don't even know.
There's that one song, I know the words to it because, like, all the other goddamn pop songs on the radio, I hear it at work all the time. Because we play goddamn pop radio at work. And she's like, the beginning of the song, she's like, I stay out too late. I go on too many dates, but I can't make them stay. But that's what people say. And I'm gonna shake it off. Woohoo.
And now,
Like, really, bitch.
this album, there are
No, I'm getting to
nice...
something. I'm getting to something here.
Go ahead.
Like, where Miley Cyrus in her songs, or right now in her career, she doesn't feel like she needs to continue and change her style to stay relevant to the pop genre. She is venturing out to do what makes her.
It's a very experimental record.
It makes her happy in some ways.
Yeah.
Like it. That's why it feels more from the heart and from the soul, is because it's not trying to go for this song is gonna be on the radio.
Yeah, that's
or
true. None of these
any
songs
of
are
that.
radio fuel. I mean, that's the
And
thing.
like, there's other chicks that are her age that you hear on the radio now that are still trying to stay relevant. Like Taylor Swift isn't country anymore. She's trying to be like Lady Gaga and shit, but still trying to be tongue in cheek and have.
She was
fucking
awful when she was
family
country.
friendly.
And she's awful when she is this average EDM pop shit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And she even had her own fucking little rap in that same song I just mentioned.
Yeah, and the thing with Miley Cyrus is her hanging out with. You can tell that
She
she's
says
done.
OMG in songs, dude.
You can tell that Miley Cyrus has done a lot of drugs, but hasn't admitted the type of drugs. Maybe,
Yeah.
I mean, I guarantee you she's done a lot more than weed.
Definitely.
I mean, I guarantee you, but she'll only talk about what Molly, and she'll only talk about weed. But I guarantee you, she's done a lot more shit that she hasn't really talked about yet. Because the thing is, this album feels like she's opening up a lot more, and she's really releasing her true self out there. And
Hopefully she doesn't become part of the Forever 27 Club.
yeah, I mean, this right here could be her turning point.
And then
To
she
actually-
puts out a lot of really great albums, and then at 27, she fucking dies.
This is gonna be the album because, like I said, a lot of the reviews,
Everyone is hating it.
She's
Everyone's
pissed
hating
off
it.
her fans, and while at the same time,
Pissed off
Flaming Lips fans. Where at the same time, Flaming Lips have pissed off their fans.
But then again,
Except
a lot
for
of
their
fans,
true fans. A lot of the Flaming Lips fans are some of the most open-minded people.
and
Because
that's one thing I gotta
of the
say
type
about
of
it.
band Flaming Lips is.
That's the one thing I gotta say about it. If you're gonna be closed-minded on something that the Flaming Lips are doing, then you're probably not a Flaming
real
Lips
big fan. You don't
No.
really understand them.
If you are a little upset about something that they're doing, you're probably not really a Flaming Lips fan. There might be some things that you kind of shrug an eyebrow to, or no, raise an eyebrow to, and be like, what? And then you just kind of think to yourself, wait a minute, alright, it's the Flaming Lips. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You just, like, that initial eyebrow raise is a more, hey, what is this? Well, I'll have to listen to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because here's the thing. There's that Instagram kid who said, fuck Flaming Lips, I'll never listen to them because they worked with Miley Cyrus. There are two ways to look at this. You can say fuck Flaming Lips because they work with Miley Cyrus.
But you've never even heard
you've never
them.
heard
You don't
them
even
before.
know.
Well, the thing is most people who would say that have never heard Flaming Lips.
Exactly.
But
A lot of
they
people
have
that
heard
have.
Miley Cyrus.
Mhm.
And they're looking at it like Flaming Lips using Miley Cyrus to be more relevant.
Mhm.
Whereas it's really the opposite. It's Miley Cyrus using Flaming Lips to gain a little more,
I don't
not
think
indie cred,
No,
but
I think she's-
experimental cred.
she's doing that more, so she can probably be more
in a more creative
probably
mindset.
in an independent group, because she knows that she probably can't follow or do what, or she doesn't want to do what Britney Spears and everyone else is doing.
And that's what you hear
to
on this
stay
album.
relevant. She doesn't want to stay relevant like they
Exactly.
have in the radio, like your Taylor Swift and your fucking
She
Katy
knows
Perry.
she knows
So
that
she
her
wants to
shit
be, she wants to be
has
where
a
the
fucking
Flaming Lips,
shelf life.
where the Flaming Lips still kind of stay relevant, but they're not selling out.
Like everything Flaming Lips have put out has been timeless.
Yeah.
And you can hear certain songs and still tell the decade they came out. But at the same time, you're like, this was way ahead of its time. Even if it was the 90s, it was way ahead of its time. It's fucking timeless. Whereas Miley Cyrus's shit before this was completely
It sounds
timely.
like it's fucking.
It has a
produced.
fucking shelf life to the point where if she were to continue doing this banger shit, she would be last week's bullshit within just a year or two. You know, I mean, it's the same thing Lady Gaga's trying to do with hanging out with Tony Bennett and even talking about how Art Pop is going to be a weird album.
That's one thing that no one like fucking compares this to. This little collaboration here is it's no different than Lady Gaga getting with Tony Bennett.
And it's the best thing Lady Gaga's ever put out.
Exactly.
The fucking best.
That
and yeah, they were
album.
old standards.
Yeah, they were
But
classic songs. They were
she shows
cover
her
songs.
true fucking talent on that.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas all the other Lady Gaga stuff, you're hearing
It's
her
computerized
manufactured
bullshit.
talent.
It's manufactured bullshit.
And
It's Fantastic Four.
so with Miley Cyrus hanging out with the Flaming Lips, you can look at it like Miley Cyrus is using the Flaming Lips to build a bridge. She's in a way she's burning her Illuminati bridges, and she is becoming in a sense a true artist by alright, a lot of these songs are about I want to get fucked up, I love weed, oh my god. Now that's her 22-year-old mind talking.
Yeah.
And I mean I was the same fucking way at that age. I was like, dude, I just want to smoke weed all the time, man. I just want to smoke weed all the time.
It's so amazing.
Dude, I want to write songs that are like about the Holocaust, dude. Oh man.
And the only thing about the Holocaust that I'm gonna actually say in the song is Holocaust.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that.
The last revelation of the Holocaust.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna
That's the name of the song,
dude. I'm gonna start off a song. I'm gonna start off a song by reciting words from Revelation and the book of the Bible, man. Oh my god, dude.
And
it's
the only
so
thing
dark.
I can remember.
It's so dark. But now I'm 29 years old, and I'm not like that anymore. I don't give a shit. I will write a song about a fucking sock with nut in it. My favorite sock to nut in. Just because to me it's funny.
It has a hole in it, so it kind of spurts out.
Yeah, to me something like that is stupid, but at the same time it's something that's funny. It's something that I would write about because I don't give a fuck about anything anymore. And you can kind of see that a little bit on this album. She's singing about her dead goldfish or blowfish.
Blowfish, Pablo.
She is, but at the same time, you're getting songs about, I want to get fucked up all the time. I want to get fucked up. I want you to fuck me.
That, like you said, is still out of her 22-year-old mind.
Yeah. That's
it's
her
not like she
22-year-old
wants
mind.
to shock somebody. That's just her being free.
That's her being 22 years
finally
old.
being able to say what she wants to say and feel like she's an adult.
Yeah, exactly. And in
so
a couple
the
years,
next album is probably going to have some more thoughtful things.
Yeah.
Not so
the next couple years,
like she's 20 spit right now, dude.
Yeah, if
so
she
those
keeps,
ages don't matter.
If she keeps hanging out with the Lips and possibly even starts meeting other more artsy bands like them, she could possibly be somebody to reckon with. I mean, she will drop the whole I want to get fucked up stuff, and she will probably start really singing some really weird abstract shit.
I mean, in some ways, a lot of people are gonna hate us on this, but she could possibly be another.
But that's the thing. That's the thing too. That's another
Did
little.
You hear it?
What now?
She could possibly be another Florence in the Machine.
I dig some Florence,
dude.
I
heard.
I haven't heard enough.
I heard a full album. Old roommate used to have a full album by her. I fucking listened to it a lot. It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
In a way, you can look at this. All right. Yeah, we can joke and say, okay, we like this.
Miley Cyrus, man.
We can make jokes and say, oh, we like this Miley Cyrus album. We're gonna lose fans. People are gonna quit watching.
I don't care because my opinion doesn't matter to you.
The thing is in a way, at the same time, by us liking this album, that's just like Flaming Lips losing their fans who are like, fuck this, they're working with her, and her losing her fans because fuck this, it's not that that radio bullshit. But at the same time, everybody's being honest. I'm being honest. I dig the fucking album only because it's weird. It's experimental. It's something. It's different from somebody who you'd expect to sort of just be what they are or what they appear to be. Like, you know, after the banger shit, I was like, you know, this is just what the fuck she's gonna be doing. But then, within a year, man, within a year, you're hearing about her hanging out with the Lips and fucking. I hear the songs she did with them on the Beatles album. And I'm like, you know what? If she could just hang out with them a little more, I hope their fucking influence really takes a hold on her.
And see, that's one thing that disappoints me because they dropped Kesha to stay with her.
Yeah, I mean, but still.
Either one would have been a great decision on both parts, but I mean, Flaming Lips right now can really do no wrong because they've been around so long.
I mean, really, man.
They know what they're doing. They know what sounds are good.
I mean, look at this.
They're really just trying to help other artists become better. They're like the Mr. Miyagi of music.
Look at this.
In some ways.
There was that song that Avril Lavigne had done with Marilyn Manson a couple years ago.
What?
You haven't heard that?
No.
Wow. And she gets pretty dirty on it.
Really?
Yeah. Dirty to the point to where when you're comparing that to her old Skater Boy shit.
Like, did Chad Kroeger produce it?
I don't know what or who or what it's on. But
there is, like, I did not know about that.
Wow. And it's, you know what?
Man,
I don't
does
like
Marilyn
Avril
Manson
Lavigne.
sing on it?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I don't like Avril Lavigne, but I love some Marilyn Manson. And I'm not gonna say it sucks. Like I said, in a way, I don't even know how dirty Avril Lavigne gets on other
No,
stuff.
she don't. It used to be about, like, in some ways I want to say that she had the same writing structure as, like, Blink-182.
Yeah, her shit was that very poppy punk, early 2000s thing.
Like, Blink-182, Sum 41, and Simple Plan shit.
That song with her and Marilyn Manson, alright, it's nothing I'm going to be turning on all the fucking time, but I can respect it because it shows that maybe she was a fan of the dude. And he just said, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just see what we
Studio
can do.
said she needed to be shocking.
Let me just
because
see
her
what we
last
can
album
do.
sucked.
And it's not a bad song. It's just whatever it is. But,
could you imagine if Marilyn Manson did that fucking song?
Hey, you.
Oh, it'd be a
your
lot slower.
girlfriend. Hey, I can be your girlfriend.
It would be like fucking Buffalo Bill singing it.
You wanna fuck me? I'd fuck me. I mean, this album, you know, we've talked about the self-indulgence of it that is good.
We've probably already exhausted everything we can say about it. I just want to recommend it. I give it a full spooge. The picture of the album cover is spooged on it, like it's a goddamn clown spooge.
So you give it a 10 winks.
I give it 10 winks, dude.
And a spooge.
I'm not trying to say this from a Flaming Lips fan point of view. I'm saying everyone needs to close their fucking ears and say this isn't Miley Cyrus, this isn't Flaming Lips, and just fucking listen. Don't try to be like, I want to hear this song every day on the radio. Just shut the fuck up. Give yourself at least a couple, maybe at least an hour to listen to it. It's asking a lot because it's an hour and a half long.
It's a long ass listen.
It's long, but it's free. So shut the fuck up.
Not only that it's free
about it, people.
Not only that it's free, it's 92 minutes, 23 tracks long, but
it doesn't get boring.
Exactly. It doesn't get boring because every song has something interesting to hear. Yeah,
it's the music.
The music is very electro.
It is, but that's Flaming Lips.
It's
a
Flaming
lot
Lips.
of, if you're a Flaming Lips fan, you're going to hear a lot of familiar sounds.
Yes, Flaming Lips is one of those bands who know how to make organic music and how to make electronic music.
But you know how everyone has their signature touch?
Everybody has their... You hear Flaming
will
Lips'
hear
musical DNA in this album. Because you will be like, if you are familiar with everything Flaming Lips, you will be pointing out, damn, that reminds me of Embryonic. Damn, that reminds me of Soft Bulletin. That reminds me of, like you said, Yo Shimmy. You know, I heard all that shit.
A lot of it.
You don't hear your typical Miley Cyrus style beats on here. You hear...
There were some moments that I felt like it reminded me of Lynx. It was a chick that I saw.
That.
She was playing with Buckethead. She's not... I don't know what she's doing right now. I haven't even checked up on her, but I did get her to sign a record for me when I saw Buckethead at the Masquerade in Atlanta, and some of the vocals that Miley pulls off on here sound like Lynx, and I thought Lynx sounded like she was trying to sound like Adele, but it just sounded like imitation of imitation on Miley's part. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're not gonna hear your typical Miley beats.
No, because
you might hear some typical Miley style melodic hooks.
But that's what surprises me, because I thought that maybe Miley would have had someone from her record producers, or someone that still kind of owned her name in a record contract and said that you have to do this kind of style, but she had, it almost seems, complete freedom to do whatever the fuck she wanted to do.
That's why it's 92 minutes long.
That's why it's 92 minutes long.
That's why it's 23 tracks long. You don't...
that's
when you are mainstream fodder like that,
you don't release
rarely.
Your albums are like 12 songs long.
Yeah. You might release a bonus disc with extra tracks.
2 more songs.
I mean,
but
you
for
don't
the most
get
part
to do
nowadays, it comes with a DVD for $5 more.
You don't get to do that, being the type of mainstream fodder that she still kind of is. She's losing it.
Everyone knows.
She's losing it a lot more by day. She's losing more and more of that mainstream fodder.
This year, she has lost more fans this year than she did when she twerked.
But at the same time, she is gaining true fans, because this album right here is the kind of album that's going to make people who love music listen to it and actually... They're not going to buy her old shit. I'm not going to buy her old shit, but I'll buy this album.
Yeah, I'll buy this.
I don't give a shit about her old stuff. Like, alright, take for instance, did any of you, after Jagged Little Pill come out, buy the very first 2 Alanis Morissette albums?
Yeah.
I doubt it. They were just Paula Abdul rip-offs.
Exactly.
And then she completely changes and goes into alternative rock
but
shit.
Now those shits are fucking expensive.
Hard to get. But, I mean, you're not gonna buy, if you're like me and him and Zach, you're not gonna buy bangers.
It's not I want to complete this and be anal and have every part of them. Like I said earlier today, I don't give a fuck. Like we did the Sublime review a little bit ago and said that we don't give a fuck if we're talking or if we're...
To me, this is where her career begins for me.
I don't give a fuck if I have every bit of the Stone Temple Pilots in my thing, because Chester Bennington, if you release a full album, I'm going to listen to it on YouTube, because I don't give a fuck. I'm not buying it. But if you release an EP, that's the first thing I'll put out, I'll pay $5.
Because to me, this is where her career begins.
And I don't feel like I'm missing anything if I don't have the full set, because that's not Stone Temple Pilots.
You have...
Just like Subliminal Throat.
You have... This right, we are right here at a crossroad. She can continue to be mainstream fodder, or she can make that left turn and say, you know what, I don't care about cameras, I don't care about producers. I don't care about people who tell me how to act. Because here's the thing. That's who she grew up with. She grew up with people who modify you to be something for the camera. But now she's hanging out with some dudes who are way fucking past that. She's hanging out with some dudes who have how many goddamn albums? Show them that stack, man.
I'm not touching it because I'm probably going to drop it.
You're fucking pretty drunk on it.
Yeah. No, I'm not touching it.
I mean...
No, I got my albums in here, and I talked, like, before I got too wasted that I was going to bring them in here and talk about them and shit, but that didn't happen. But they have, like, at least 13 to 14 records themselves.
She's hanging out with some dudes who are beyond that. They're not above that, they are beyond it. They are to the point where, like, you know what, we just want to do what we want to do.
I mean, he has a tiny house in Oklahoma.
And that's all you need,
exactly.
Man. You don't need a fucking mansion.
Exactly.
You don't need 7 cars. You don't fucking need the
you know
Elephant Man skeleton.
Know what, exactly. I'm gonna probably gonna lose a lot of people on this one, but Justin Bieber needs to be with the Flaming Lips. Maybe for one song. See what happens. Just see what happens. I'm sorry.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Right.
But Miley Cyrus does to my knowledge, doesn't drive drunk.
This is my last cigarette of this review.
She doesn't piss in mop buckets. You know what I mean?
Right.
Justin Bieber is a
well, that's probably
person.
what needs to happen to him because they might make him a good person.
Fucking person.
They might make him a good person.
I mean, you know, but yeah, we are at a point where Miley Cyrus can either be somebody who is completely artistic, or she reverts back and does this banger shit some more. Who knows where it's gonna go from here? This is one of those moments where, yeah, I can't wait to hear the next Lips album. I know it's gonna fucking be the Lips. But at the same time, it's making me wonder, what is she gonna do when she doesn't have them around? Is she gonna still make some more experimental stuff? Or is she gonna crawl back to her producers? Because here's the thing, she had the Flaming Lips to, you know, in a way kind of direct her, but at the same time she's letting loose and being herself.
They're just letting her do what she do and play music around her.
So what
if... what it sounds like.
What if she can't really do that without them?
Yeah.
What if they're doing their own thing?
It sounds like some kind of crazy Sid Barrett thing and she gets really fucked up and never comes out of her trip.
I mean, really, man. It's we're at this moment where it's like, what's gonna happen next? Because this album is... it's pretty fucking good. It's not your typical Cyrus bullshit, but at the same time, it's your typical
I wouldn't say it's your typical Cyrus bullshit, because your typical Cyrus bullshit is typical radio bullshit. So it's, I mean, she's just a pawn in the radio scheme.
And she's trying to leave that pawn. She's trying to. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be rocky because the type of album this is one that the critics are gonna hate, and her normal fans are gonna hate until they grow up. 10 years from now, this is the Pinkerton of Miley Cyrus's career.
Yes, it is. It's Pinkerton, and everyone's gonna be hating on this video right now. But we're trying to tell you. I'm not trying to tell you that I am.
Because you're gonna have people.
I'm not above you. I'm beyond you.
You're gonna have people who are afraid to say they like this album because they're afraid of what people would say. Oh, you like Miley Cyrus?
Me.
And then you're gonna have Miley Cyrus fans who are afraid to say they like this album because they're gonna be like, oh, other Cyrus fans are gonna be like, no, it's not as good as Bangers.
Things like this start out the hipster thing.
And you're going to have Flaming Lips fans who are afraid to say they like this album because other Flaming Lips
This-
fans might be like,
this-
"Oh, that sucks. It's Miley Cyrus."
This is probably our hipster review of Miley Cyrus and the Flaming Lips.
I mean, really,
Because everyone hates it and we like it.
it's
Bad. What
it's
the
one of those
fuck,
things, man. I
I
guarantee
mean,
you,
I'm
10
serious.
years
I'm
from
not,
now.
I'm not trying to like it because everyone hates it and it's...
Yeah, I'm
what
assessing
is-
this album based off of what I like.
Yeah.
And there's more about this album that I like,
That I don't...
and there's really nothing about it that I don't like. I mean, the Flaming Lips carry it, obviously.
I mean, it, honestly, like I said earlier, it's like a Flaming Lips album without the goofiness and more sexual tones.
Exactly,
That's
and
all
more
it is.
more early 20s bullshit. Like, I just want to get fucked up all the time. I just want to get.
It's
fucked
just
up.
early age antics. It's like an Adam Sandler movie.
But it's a
if it
step in the
was
right
written-
direction.
Yes.
Yes, you're gonna start off like this, but then next album, if she continues to go this route, it'll be a little deeper, just a little deeper.
I mean, that
But then
Pablo
after
song,
that-
she started crying in the Pablo song.
Yeah, but
Pablo the
but the
Blowfish.
third album, the one after that, is gonna be the complete transformation. She has just entered her cocoon.
So when she comes out, she'll be a full butterfly or a meth fly.
She'll be a fucking meth fly, dude. I mean, no, man, because she just entered her cocoon to see what she can do, to see what she can make, to see what she can create. The next album is going to be a slight peek of what is in that cocoon. Then that third one, she breaks out of the cocoon. And that's if she that's if she decides to keep going this more experimental route. You might get something that is so fucking weird and crazy that everybody hates.
Yo,
But except for maybe a select few of people.
the like the EDM song.
Yeah, it probably won't have Flaming Lips on it. But it's gonna be something on the lines of like, what the fuck is this? And it's really gonna be like 10 years after that, people are gonna be like, you know what? This is a pretty fucking amazing album. You know, this is just the fucking base of the iceberg. We are just now getting to the fucking base.
Yeah.
We're nowhere near the tip.
forming. It's forming.
It's one of those things where
She just released a 22 or 23 track album that is not trying to be a pop album. That's free.
So my rating for this album,
I gave it 10 wings.
you give it 10 wings. I give it 8 wings.
8.
8 wings. Only because to me the way I look at it is it's a step in the right direction. It's not an amazing album.
It's not. But
It's
as a surprise,
yeah, it's a surprise.
that's
It
why
gets
I
8.
give it 10 as a surprise, because I was expecting something completely different.
For me, it gets an 8 because it's a surprise. Because it.
I was thinking that she would change the Flaming Lips, but it sounded like they changed her. Exactly.
It's like
and
that
that's
said,
why.
man. She's
That's
using
why
them.
I gave it 10, because I am a fan. Of the
Yeah, you're a
Flaming
bigger
Lips.
Lips fan than I am. I love some Lips, but you have all their shit.
Yeah.
You know, I've only got their stuff that I got from you on my computer, and I don't be turning it on.
You
all the
don't
time.
follow them like I do.
Yeah, I don't be turning
So
them
you
on
just
all the
you
time.
you know what's happening when I tell you, like this
Mhm.
album right here. So,
It gets an 8 because it's a step in the right direction, but it's not there yet.
No,
it,
it's not. It's definitely not.
It's obviously good on the Flaming Lips part, because it's the Flaming Lips doing what they do.
Yeah, it's just Flaming
It's
Lips
no
making-
different than Flaming Lips stuff.
Mm.
But it is completely different from your normal Miley Cyrus stuff, except for all of the I just like get fucked up, man.
That's her bangers era trying to.
Exactly,
She hasn't
that's-
broken out of that.
She hasn't left her banger shit yet.
Yeah,
That's why it gets an 8. Because there's still that, I just want to get fucked up, man. You know, I just love weed so much. And weed is like the greatest thing in the world. I mean, yeah, it is.
There is one song that sounds like it's a text message. Like she's pretty much reading a text message conversation.
I mean, really. I mean, there's that kind of shit on there.
I was like, LOL.
That millennial bullshit.
Right.
I was like, LOL and OMG, you know. Couldn't believe she said that to me. I just love weed. Oh my god, dude. Weed's like the greatest drug ever. You know, I mean, yeah, weed is awesome as fuck.
It's not a drug.
But I haven't talked about how weed is awesome since I was like 20 years old, man.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, weed is awesome, but you know, weed is weed. You're gonna. She hasn't grown up yet.
Give it an 8.
I give it an 8 because step in the right direction. Obviously good on Flaming Lips. I'm not judging it by the Flaming Lips. The Flaming Lips made it sound good. I'm judging it based off of her and what I know of her from before this. That's how I'm judging it. Because, let's face it, I mean, technically it's a Flaming Lips album featuring her, but in reality, it's a Miley Cyrus album. And this is Miley Cyrus stepping outside of the box. This is Miley Cyrus getting a little pretentious and doing her own thing, but she doesn't know that this is what she wants to do until now. Yeah. She hasn't realized, because there are moments where she's like really fucking cool, but then there are those fucking 20-year-old moments where it's like, I just want to get fucked up. And when she jumps all of that, when she dumps that, maybe she'll get a 10.
Game on. New albums. Gonna be amazing. Looking forward to it. We'll see you on the next one.
But yeah, I mean, we'll see you on the next one.
I really wanna play with your cinch. There's only one way that you're crossing my bridge. You and I, we populate the nation. Across this bridge lies your salvation.